that, I will go ahead and introduce our next speaker. So we have Danillo Leite in the room. Danillo is an agronomist engineer from Brazil, actually, with a specialization in plant protection. And he is currently a PhD student here at SIU. In the spring of 2022, Danillo started working with soybean diseases on stems across the state of Illinois. So Danillo, I'll go ahead and welcome you up to do your update.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. My name is Danilo. Today, I'm going to talk a little about my project with ISA Stem Disease Project. It's called Soybean Stem Pest Survey Impact and Education. So just want to have a little bit of my background. I am an agronomist from Federal Rural University from Amazon in Brazil. I also did a little bit of work in University of Wisconsin River Falls for about a year. I have a plant protection specialization in Brazil, and I worked for Corteva for about 3 years in the industry. And now I am currently a PhD student at SIU with the research areas, stem disease of soybeans, fungal resistance to fungicides, and detection techniques. So for my introduction today, I will talk about today what are stem diseases, common stem disease in soybeans, ISA produced a survey, thank you. Samples collected across Illinois from production field, factors that affect disease severity, and the next steps. As you can see here, have a stem disease right here, but what are stem diseases actually? There are all diseases that affect the tissue that carries, that holds the leaves, the pods, the flowers, and eventually the fruits. We have several diseases reported in Illinois state, but in order for disease to occur, we have to what we call the disease triangle. There is a suitable environment. We need a pathogen and a host for that disease to occur. I also have to include a little bit of time so they can have interaction between those three components in order to disease to occur. Also, some of the diseases, they can be really found in your field in according with the symptoms and signs that they show. When you look at your field, you see all green. You don't even tell when you have a stem disease. You can tell easily that you have a leaves disease. But for stem disease, they can be really tricky because they won't show right away for you. So we have the symptoms, or they can show you the symptoms and signs down the road when it's too late. So for the stem disease, we have symptoms like visible characteristic of disease. That's what we call symptoms. There are changes in the host tissue, color, shape, or function. And you have the signs of disease, that is the visible or physical extrusions of a pathogen, like spores, mycelia, or microsclerotia. Here in this picture, we can see both on these stems, split stem of soybean. We have long lines on skin, it's a symptom, and you have signs. You can see those black little dots over here. It's actually the fungi. Meanwhile, you have those symptoms and signs. We have many diseases in Illinois. We have those three that are very common in here. There is anthracnose, caused by the genus of Coleotrochum. They will have those black spots over here. They will coalesce together. Also, we have charcoal rot, very common in here, and they cause wilt and probably the death of the plant. We have stem canker that will form those very characteristic of zone lines on stem. They will spread upwards, and they can also cause canker, as the name of the disease. we had those three diseases, and we also have a new disease in Illinois State that it was first reported in 2018. That is the red proud rot. It causes wilting, and they cause chlorosis and stunting of the plants of soybean. And the signs, the symptoms, they can show late on the season. And what's very characteristic with those little tiny dots, red dots over here, that can, it's a sign of this disease. It's a perichitia. So one of the unique things about this project there is that we partnered with ISA, with ISA, and the ISA did a survey with producers. So in order to obtain assessment of producers' impression of stem disease, the incidence of those diseases, severity, and economic impact. We want to have a starting benchmark to communicate with producers about stem disease. So for those farmers who participated in the survey, we asked them if they were willing to send some sample stem disease for us, so we can have those samples screened at SAU, also to be able to identify those diseases. And for those farmers who agreed with sample disease, we sent some boxes to them with bags, pen, everything they have to, also a mail bag envelope, so they can just ship for us for free. Also did a little video on YouTube channel or YouTube channel where how to collect those stems and how to proceed, which plants we were looking for. They received those little sheets over here that can give you more updates of the management, just to get more information about that plant that they collected. We received those stems just like these ones, and we started to take out all the fungi that we could find on there. So for our workflow on this work, we basically took the stems and we isolated as much as we can. So in order to have a nice or maybe a homogeneous fungi. And so we have to take several isolations to make one plate, like a homogeneous plate of only one fungi. And in order to identification those fungi, we did DNA extraction, DNA amplification, and sequencing. The sequencing would give you these unique little barcodes where we can go after the speciation of the fungi. So you see, we had those lots of fungi to cover on. In order to get track of that down the road, we created these little barcodes where I can have all the information where that fungi come from or where that stem was collected. So this is one of the student workers, and here's one of the benches of the fungi that we have. So far, we have collected from 17 counties over 100 stem samples and more than 400 isolated. We have some of those particular ones that we know that is causing disease, but there are several ones that they never been reported on soybean before, and we want to know what's happening. So those ones, they don't look like this on the stem, but as soon as you get a medium for them to grow, they will be easily grown in the future medium. But you may wonder what's the factors that make those fungi grow or make them be more severe. So we have several factors that those diseases can treat, like seed quality. Some of them, they are seed-borne disease, so they can carry with your seed. We have cultural practices as crop rotation, irrigation, or proper fertilization. We have resistance, some weed management. Also have weather. Some of the diseases can thrive really good in particular weathers, like humid environment or a severe weather. Also, in order to see we have the stages of the soybean plants where we are more likely to see those signs and symptoms of the disease. While the stem canker is on the early stage, we can see that stem blight can show symptoms in the late stage. Also, all those diseases, they will show symptoms or sometimes of signs or extra-tools or overwintering extra-tools in the late stage at R8. So for future steps, we want to collect all samples from all the Illinois counties. So we want to expand the collection of disease samples. We want to develop the data assessment of soybean stems across Illinois. Identify best management practices to reduce the impact of those diseases. We want to communicate to findings with producers, also expand the collection of pathogen isolates for future research. And thank you, ISA, for the partnership, also my lab, my team of my lab. And if you want to be part of, to get involved on this project, this is my mail over here. And I really appreciate it today. Thank you so much.